What up, everybody? It's your boy Cristo coming back at you live once again. You know, it's my favorite day, Thursday. I got my boy with me.
What's going on, guys? It's me, Rocky Raccoon. It's August 24th, episode 26.
26.
26.
26. I remember when I was 26, bro. What were you doing at 26? You remember? Probably hanging out with me. That's what you were doing.
Yeah, hanging out with you and not remembering.
Remember? Okay, maybe, I don't know, how old were you? Maybe 26, 27, 28. We were going to get some gas at the gas station over at Western, right? When you white convertible.
Oh, dude, I was probably only like 20.
It was like, I don't know, 8:30, 9, maybe 10, 11. No,
it was like 12 o'clock at night, I think.
It was late.
It was late. Super late.
It was night, and then we were just, pumping up gas and stuff like that. We're doing our thing.
Just driving around. Only thing that you can do here.
Get ready to pull off. I said, hey, bro, the hose is still in the tank. Can you imagine if that thing would have ripped off? I mean, the emergency switches nowadays, but still, that would have been funny if it switched off or it didn't switch off.
Oh, yeah, that would have sucked. And then I would have just honestly just kept going.
I'd have
looked back and been like,
put it in the garage and hang it up.
Like, I wonder how much I could sell this for on eBay.
$10, just a nozzle.
Dude, yeah, it's like a guy that's trying to find his next fix. He's like, I got this, man. I got this, man. Give me $1, man. Give me $1.
Like, I'm doing a trade-up challenge. I got this hose that I pulled out of the gas station.
I'm like, I don't need it, man. I don't need it.
It happens. It's like those Pawn Star guys, man. You're like, take something in. They're like, let me call my expert.
Yeah, let me call a guy.
Well, how do you know that guy don't know nothing?
Yeah, he just calls his buddy. He's like, yo, man, what are you doing? He's like, nothing, just sitting on the couch. He's like, well, I need to come pretend like you know what this thing is. He's like, all right, let me Google it.
He's like, is this for the show?
Yeah, is this for the show? And he's like, how much money you want to get out of it? And he's like, I don't want to spend more than $1,000. So the guy shows up and he's like, man, this ain't more than $800.
There you go, dude.
I kind of have a feeling that does happen.
Well, you heard the man, $800. He's like, yeah, but I got a profit off that, so I got to take a couple off the top, and I got employees, I got janitors.
I'm like, I'm taking this elsewhere.
I'll give you $100.
That's usually how it is, man. They rip you off there.
That's what pawn. I mean, back in the day, pawn people used to like be beneficial. I mean, I think there's like a documentary or a story out there saying pawn stores,
pawn
stores, or whatever they were called back then.
Pawn shops.
Yeah, like shops. saved a whole bunch of people around here, stuff like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Saved a whole bunch of people and then didn't save some people. You know what I mean?
Save some people, didn't save people.
Welcome back.
Sorry, everybody. I had to do my thing. All right, what else is going on, brother?
Not much, man. Thursday. Cool. Usually it's my Friday, but I got to go in tomorrow. So,
yay.
Get some money.
It happens, bro. Some people work 5 days a week. Some people don't.
Hey, man. Work's work.
You got to go, but you don't want to go, but you got to show up, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I always tell you all the time?
Yeah.
You don't want to go, but you got to show up, brother.
Actually, tell me about those UFC fights. I missed them last week.
Oh, so we're going to do a UFC 292 recap, right? As behind us, we got Sugar Sean. Just kidding. He beat Aljamain Sterling. Thanks for you guys for showing up. Appreciate you guys. I know you guys got a busy schedule out there. We got John Jones in the house, Alex Pieta, Brandon Moreno, top tier people. Recap back. Zhang Wei, she went to a split decision against Amanda Lemos. And you had Ian Machado Gary versus Neil Magny. That was another decision. And then you got Batista versus what's that dude's name? Dockershman? I don't know. Decision there too. You got Cheeto Vero. He was in there too. So, I mean, he won. All those guys won that name. Awesome. Recap. Awesome, dude. Hit him with a banger. You're welcome to the Sugar Show.
Who did you have to win the main card?
I'm glad you said that, man. I'm glad you brought that up. The main card?
Who was the main card, first of all? And this is
like I just told
UFC,
you, the top 292.
UFC 292. Who did you have for the main card?
So the main card, I had Aljamain beating Sugar Sean. I had Zhang Wei beating Amanda Lemos. I had Ian Gary beating Neil Magny, and I had Batista beating I can't remember that dude's name. Brashida? I wrote it down. I can't even read my own handwriting. And then Cheeto Vera versus Andre something. I picked them all. I picked them all, dude. I picked them all except for Sugar Shane, the Sugar Show.
Oh, so all of your picks won?
Yeah, except but I did a parlay, so I didn't win anything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I thought Aljamain was going to take out Sugar Sean O'Malley, but I don't know what I was thinking about the Sugar Show. We're in the Sugar Show era.
So you, I guess not. Well, I've been hearing that. I guess that title fight. I didn't watch it personally. I've just seen who won. But apparently, there's a lot of controversy behind there about saying like, the ref should have called it? Because they say that I was reading, that you have to be guarding yourself in a like like flight or fight mode, you know what I mean? You can't just like making random guards. You have to like, I forget the word he was saying. Like you have to know what you're guarding.
Yeah. So the dude was defending himself, while he was getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
So he was comprehensive. I think he hit him with a good hand, and then he stunned him, put him to the ground. Right. Looked like he was praying to Allah or whoever he prays to, bro. Because he was like that.
It was tough.
And then he was still going after him, and then that's when the ref stopped it. But he was still coming too. I think he was still at 2. Yeah. I got an argument with my brother Benny. Thanks for watching, bro. We got an argument about it, and whatever, dude.
What round did he go down in?
Third, fourth.
I
can't remember, dude.
But he won, so.
But it was TKO. He won.
TKO.
Third, fourth.
Technical knockout.
TKO.
Okay. Was there another main card?
There's a prelim.
So was there like 2 main events?
There's main card. There's prelims, and there's early prelims.
So there was just one. There was just one main like.
There's a co-main event.
Co-main event. That's what I'm saying.
Main event.
Who was
pre-event?
Who was co-main then?
That was Xiaoling Wei fighting for the title against Amanda Lemos.
And who won the title on that fight?
Xiaoling Wei.
Xiaoling Wei. Decision. And you had her, right?
Yeah.
So decision?
Yeah.
Was it a clear cut like?
Yeah.
Like she was.
Well, the skill level and the skill set, you could tell there's definitely a decision needed to be made, and it was the right decision.
Yeah.
And those other guys, too, same thing. We knew Ian Gary was going to beat Neil Magny. Neil Magny's got some tread on his tires, no disrespect. He's one of my all-time fighters, too. Mm-hmm. And then Batista's that young coming guy, bro. He's always been on everybody's radar, too. He was doing some damage. And then you got Cheeto Vera, man. He's the GOAT, too. He's up there. Sean O'Malley called him out because Sean O'Malley has his only defeat against Cheeto Vera. I guess something to do with his leg. Remember the toe or the leg or something like that. And then every time he walks in the ring, he always goes like, 10-0 or 11-0 or whatever it is. But we know he has that one loss.
Did anything crazy happen in like any of the prelims or anything like that?
Just a lot of knockouts, man.
No, like broken legs, nothing like that?
No. Chris, I think it was Chris Weidman. He was the co-main event for not the co-main event. He was the main event for the prelims, and everybody was kind of watching out for him to see what was going to happen to him. But I think Dana White commented, I think it's time, for him to go. But Chris Weidman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The dude was really Dana to go.
The dude was really eating him up, giving him leg kicks in the beginning of the match. And everybody Chris Weidman broke his legs over here. You were watching it that one time. We were like, ah! So he just came back. So that was his comeback fight.
Yeah, I was just curious because every time I don't watch a fight, you're always like, dude, this guy just broke his leg. This guy just broke his arm. This guy almost died. This guy's skull broke open. And I'm like, jeez.
And then when you do watch it, it's like humping the dude for 5 minutes. Dude. I'm like, jeez, bro.
Or the main card wins in like 30 seconds. And you're like, I just paid $90 for this?
I'm like, y'all didn't. You just showed up.
I just showed up with some good food.
We haven't done that in a while,
It's been a minute.
It's been busy. Just trying to get all the ducks in line, try to lay down the tracks before the train comes.
Yeah, I hear that, man. We don't want no more derailments up in this place no more. Mm-hmm. We don't want no more conspiracy theories, dude.
Dude, talk about conspiracies. What do you want to talk about today?
Okay. So I guess I don't know. Let's start with India.
That's not a conspiracy. That's
going
real.
To the moon. Are you sure though? I think it's real. I think it's real, but a lot of people. I guess it would be conspiracy theory to flat earthers.
You know what? I guess
to people that live in the dome.
You're right.
And so, like I said, me personally,
what do you think?
They're there.
Okay.
They made it. Yeah. Okay. And what did you say? What? They're the what?
They're number 4 to make it to the moon.
Okay, yeah.
So they're in the space race. They're finally in the space race. Number 1, Russia. Number 2 is U.S. Number 3 is China. Number 4 is India.
And they made it, man. They got a rover out on there on the moon right now.
Well, you can flip 1 or 2 debating on which side you're on, but I think they had the first astronaut to orbit.
Yeah, so like I wonder if there's going to start being
and they had the first satellite to orbit too, the Sputnik, right? Is that what it's called?
Uh-huh. Yeah. And so I'm wondering if videos are going to start coming out with like people saying like, if you look this closely at their footage on the Mars moon rover, there's a fly in the background,
Okay,
or
so
this and that. You know?
You know what got me. We're gonna stay on this topic of India.
Tell
I
me.
like India. I want to travel there. So Nick, hit me up when you go. I'll go with you. I was watching like some of these space videos, bro, and they said that there's a rat or a mouse on one of the SpaceX.
I hear all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah.
I was like, how is that possible? Then they say there's no oxygen out there, and then we'll die.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean?
I saw this other thing so we have the International Space Station,
How
ISS.
did that get up there?
I mean, we built it up there.
Everybody's saying that we take it piece by piece, but I don't remember them being, hey, this is the piece that's going up there.
So
I don't remember them saying, hey, this big, sorry to cut you off, bro, but I'm just like in this right now,
good.
dude.
Go ahead. Go.
The big window, you know, that big old window, you know, I forget what it's called, but I don't remember that going up there either, you know?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of videos out there that are saying if you really watch, you could see like when the astronauts are working on it, there's like flies flying around. And then there was one video where it's like if you look to the left, there's a dude with a big old beard, just like with his head out of the window. And you're like, how? Like with no helmet on, you know? So
maybe I seen something similar to them, like the wrench just dropped straight to the floor.
Yeah, and I don't know necessarily why would they, if everything is true and we are in
to control us
lower orbit. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, if we are in lower orbit, I just don't know if it's all real, why we need to fake it. And if we are faking it, why are we doing it so bad? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen, so talking back on that topic of India. So I seen, this happened like a couple of days ago. So I think it was like the 22nd, I think it was when they landed on there.
Yeah,
no one really knew about it, but except for the people that were in, on the ground, you know, looking over the monitors and stuff, they were taking pictures and sending it to their like, you know, online profiles, and that's how people picked it apart. And those pictures look like, wow, those are cool. You know, there's one, but you know, the way that they manipulate it and kind of zoom in and zoom out of it and stuff like that. Really cool, kind of simple, you know, black and gray pictures. But they saying the reason why everybody's so focused on why India is going to the, what did they say, the south part of the moon, or
dark side, maybe? I don't know.
Some part of the moon where no one's ever been. So the reason why they're going, because they heard that they seen or heard that they found some like ice capsules or ice or some kind of petrified something like that. And so they're going to be the first ones to go down and to go check it out. So I think so. All eyes on India right now. Hopefully no mechanical errors. Hopefully no issues. Hope nothing with the tires or the rovers or anything going wrong with them. You know, we really want to see what's going out there, man.
Yeah, and let's hope that it's actual footage. I know SpaceX is trying to go to Mars for like the same thing. There's like
I think he's trying to like
ice caps out there that have microorganisms in there. That is what Elon is saying. So, you know, he's a smart dude. Yeah. I would think that he knows what he's talking about. So this whole, I think, you know, like you said, the space race is back on. Well, I would hope it's back on, and I think it's very exciting. And I feel like with us saying that we're going back to the moon with these astronauts and 2020, like it's supposed to be like next year or the following year, but then after they said that, it's like been silent. There's been no like more news on that.
Yeah, so that's just man. Hopefully it can spark up another, you know, some young man's mind and just be like,
something
hey,
cool.
Turn the engines and want to go out there.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like some of the science is there. I mean, if you look at SpaceX's rockets compared to NASA's rockets, because and SpaceX's suits compared to their suits, like SpaceX I feel like is definitely ahead of the game when it comes to that, and I feel like their engineering department has the mindset to do more credible stuff like that. And so I'm hoping that there's more, now that there's more competition, especially, you know, overseas competitors, you know, like China, Russia, now India, that, you know, USA put something up there, you know, or at least, I don't know, give me something to talk about. Give me something to look at.
That's crazy, bro, because, you know, with us not being being like ingenuity, I guess you could say, I don't even know if that's the right word to say, but there's no drive in us anymore. You know, I feel like America has just like kind of on that baseline, like, you know, plateaued. We've been out here for so long. We're on the top for so long. It's just, there's nothing to do. And that's the whole, and the thing that sets me back on that is because there's like there's a dude on the Joe Rogan podcast. I think his name's Mike Berry. I don't know. He's a CIA operative. He's always on there. he always talks about how China is trying to be a superpower 2024 and how that's going to change the world and how that's going to change this and change that. And if America doesn't step up and do something, I always think about stuff like that, man. That stuff bothers me because I feel like this country has just like laid down and just kind of went with the flow and things like that. They're not really amped up to help.
Yeah.
And then like that new song that came out, Richmond, up in Richmond. I don't know if you heard about it.
I've heard about it.
But that's a very controversial song nowadays. Everyone's like, there's a lot of old school country singers that are like, I can't believe we're going to sign this new woke movement here. I mean, it makes sense though. I mean, the guy's singing about relatively relatable topics. He's talking about, or he's singing about like having a job that's, BS pay, or having the government have a big shoulder or a big foot on our neck.
People work in the system that are capable of working.
Sure. Yeah. You have people putting their hand out when they don't need to put their hand out.
Right.
Absolutely. And it's like, people are on the fence about that. But that guy put that song out 2 weeks ago and it's got like 32 million views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of songs like that out there. And I listened to some like 20-second snippet of it. And it's a country song for sure. You know what I mean?
I think I don't know if it's a country song. I want to call it like in the mountains kind of music. You know what I mean? It's like a mountain
man music.
Yeah. Because country music, you down there, drinking with your buddies and you're in your truck, just trying to make a couple bucks.
Yeah, I hear you there.
I feel like that's country music. And this guy's music kind of in the woods. His is in the woods, like Zach Bryan. He's kind of in the woods, kind of in the country too. You know what I mean? But a lot of these people saying, I think Zach Bryan, he was on another podcast and he was saying how it's hard for him to be open and to write his own music because nowadays everybody's like, oh, you're a man, you don't need to be writing poems. You're a man, you don't need to be writing or singing like this. And he was telling people that like he feels like undermined or feels like people are watching him for the wrong reason.
I think that when you have a following like he does, or any type of influencer or any person of interest, is going to always have those people that are always trying to find the negative in things. And I think that that's always going to be going on no matter, what state we're in. There's always those people that only see the bad.
Do you think that's human nature?
Yeah, I think that's human nature for sure. And I think it's unfortunate because I don't think that's something that we can change. I think that's always just going to be.
Do you think that's like something mental that you can change? Like surrounding yourself with positive people, maybe?
So I think so. Yeah, I think
because there's always haters. You know what they say, haters are going to hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and I guess, yes, you can separate yourself from that, but I feel like in certain situations, stressful situations, intense situations, that's when a real person's personality comes out, So, it's like fight or flight, if your back's against the wall, who knows how you're going to act. And that's when that whole kind of feral instinct of us as like, I don't want to say caveman, but let's go back to like Genghis Khan, you know what I mean? Like all these people that they say like 86% of the population in, Eastern Asia or stuff like that have his DNA, and they're just like barbarians.
Oh, I heard about that.
And so like I feel like
blue mark or something like that. There's a blue mark.
Yeah. So I feel like that's just kind of like an example. Like we all have like this barbarian DNA because all our lives, you think about it, we've only taken. You know what I mean? Like we're always out there. We're in war. We're out there. We're like, just taking what we think is ours, and when it necessarily isn't.
I think we were right. In the ancient times, the hunting gathering times, we were right then, and now is like where you see we're taking a lot more things now. I think once Christopher Columbus came and pillaged and raped everybody and took everything from everyone and tricked the indigenous people thinking it was a god, which, we're still teaching those today in the history books, which is whatever, man, whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people are...
But that's when I think you kind of change to, wanting and having.
Right. Yeah, no, like you said, a lot of
And then
the
UFOs crashing, and that's how our technology got to a boom, and that's like how we are now, buddy.
Yeah, and like you said, I think the reason we... I think the reason we plateaued, so to speak, as a civilization in USA is that we feel like we're on the top and no one can mess with us, and we have that like mentality of we're the best, which is not a bad thing to have, but I feel like you can't be too cocky. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we can do way more as a society if we were steered in the right direction, which we're not being
so
right now.
and I was like, and I agree with you 100%, but like the way we were going in this direction we're going, these bureaucrats are like 80, 90 years old with old
That is
time
true.
and old, you know what I mean? You got people having strokes in the middle of interviews. You got people falling asleep in the middle of interviews. You got
That is
people,
true.
you know, stroking out, making speeches. You're like, what are we doing here? You know, and you see this all over every other platform. It's like, we need to get the old people out. You know what I mean?
What do you think?
They're all just making their pockets bigger, dude. That's all they're doing.
Do you think that the reason that they keep it in there is because of their quote unquote knowledge in the past and their experience?
You can't have a dude taking a shit in his pants up there, you know, while you're trying to make a speech. That is true. That's like disgusting, disrespectful, bro. And it's like the reason why they're there is because they're puppets. You know, they're people behind them. They're saying, oh, you can't take him out because you're not going to get your loan. You're not going to get your grant. My opinion, obviously, you know, there's probably other people out there saying you're wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, that stuff it gets a little skewed because I think that we have people that can definitely represent us a lot better than these old heads. But 100%. Then there are people, unfortunately, in this generation now where they haven't really known about like hard work, so to speak, you know, and like, what they have is what they worked hard for. So there could be like a younger group in office that's really not doing too much. They're like, yo, man, hang loose. And I'm like, no, man, we got serious problems.
Yeah. So the thing is like, I think the old generations we're finally, you know, becoming older, and you know, our generation of kids that we're teaching them are those little sissy boys. You know, we're the people that put them that way. You know, we're the reasons why you know this is coming this way. You know, let's become little femboys. You know, we have all dude. Yeah, okay, this is weird to me, and I'm still not used to it. Like I said, I don't care what you are, who you are, what you look like. I don't care. Do your thing. Don't do it around me. That's the way I say.
Right.
I was up in Denver the other day, and we went to this place, dude. It was an all gender bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was like, that's kind of weird, man. Which one do I go in? I was kind of confused. Do I go into this one? I go into that one? I mean, it says all gender, whatever. So I go in there, you know, I do my business, whatever. And then I hear some girls, you know, same thing outside the room. Where do we go?
Right.
Do I go in here, go in there? And they see me walking out. So they're like, well, let's just go to this one. Well, you don't know if another guy's in there too. So it's just like, we're just living in that. I don't know if that transition, man, it's kind of weird.
It is weird.
It's kind of weird.
It is super weird. And I feel like in some aspects of that, a lot of the time it is really forced upon the younger generation.
I feel so.
Where I don't think it really should.
That's
just
what I'm saying. Like,
let it happen. You know, you don't have to like force someone like you have to use a gender fluid bathroom. Like if it's there, use it. Don't make a big deal out of it like you did. You're like, I'm just going to use it, just do my business.
Yeah,
whatever.
I gotta go.
But I mean, you don't have to like take away male and female either. You know what I mean?
You know what, dude? The bathroom is a sacred place, bro. You don't mess with that.
That is true.
Men with the men, women with the women. You know
my
why?
office when I get home.
It's like a powder room. You know, the girls go in there, their own power. Guys go in there, their own thing. You know, you got to look yourself in the mirror. You're like, I'm not that drunk. I'm going to go out there with the boys.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my thing. I got this. You can't do that with the all-gender bathroom, bro. A girl's going to walk in. You're going to be looking like an idiot.
Yeah, that's
talking
true.
to yourself in the mirror, dude.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that's funny.
Do you think like I have a son, he's 6 years old, and I think I'm raising him the way I raised him, or the way I was raised, you know, just, you know, it's weird having to say that. Like, do I say I was raised normal? Because that's not like a thing anymore. Let's skip that, because I guess there's not really a term for how someone was raised back then, right or wrong now. But sorry, I digress. But do you think when my son gets older, there's only going to be gender neutral bathrooms, or there's always going to be a man and a woman, and then there's that in between?
As long as you have people that are willing to stand up for what they believe in, there'll always be controversy over the littlest things. You know what I mean?
I think people should stand up what they believe in. I fully encourage that. But when it comes down to, like I'll always say this, when it comes down to like shoving it in our face, I don't like that. Like you said, like you can be who you want to be, do what you want to do, but don't try to make me a part of it when you know I'm not about that. Yeah. You know, like there's like, I love, let's just example,
don't be
like
that guy.
I love playing video games, you know, and someone else may not play video games. And I'm like, no, bring my stuff over. I'm like, you are playing this regardless if you like it or not.
Or don't be that guy that goes into a grocery store and talks about like Lord Caesar, Jesus Christ. I'm like, bro, I'm working here, dude.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, time and place. It's like,
do you want to talk about that? You know, just say respectfully, no, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, because there's also those people that are like, you know, someone asks them politely, hey, do you want to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? And then the guy's like, you know what? Our Lord and Savior is this and that.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, you don't need to go in all this because you're feeding the fire. That, you know, sometimes that's what they want, you know, but you're not really making the situation any better. You know, you're just making it worse.
Get it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's always going to be something controversial.
Even like these
goes,
UFOs,
man.
even the UFOs, everyone's on the fence still about those. Even though the government just came out and said that they're real, we have them.
I feel like I'm on the fence on that now. You know what I mean?
So I don't know.
I feel like I'm on the fence
and
about
then
that.
people are like, bro, when this government says it's true, it's probably not true. I'm like, God dang it.
Right. Yeah.
God dang it.
And like I was telling you last episode, it's like, are some of those the government's UAPs?
Yeah.
You know, or some of those ours are like, I think there are some that maybe, you know, ET related.
Conspiracies about like the Antarctica bases down there and the bases underwater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
I think there's a lot of stuff.
The Nazis had something going on down there. Or Germany, Hitler had a lot of things going on down there.
I think back in the day, Hitler was trying to go to the...
People in Chile speak German in the hills, in the mountains. It's because they fled there. You knew that, right?
Yeah, I mean...
I think Tom Kennedy, he talks about that in one of his shows. Mm-hmm. How, like, he was, like, trying to look for this guy, or I don't know if it's Tom Kennedy or somebody, but they were looking for him, man. And, you know, they came upon this village in Chile. Chile's predominantly Spanish or Mexican or whatever you want to call yourselves. And they're, like, speaking fluent German, white people.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, just look at Spain. Like, Spain's right next to Europe.
Nazis, bro.
You know? So
chilling.
Yeah. I mean...
Eagle's Nest, too.
Thing is like, a lot of our history is in Europe. You know what I mean? We didn't come over to the Americas until we started colonizing and then wiped out the native indigenous people. So like, yeah, there's a lot of DNA meshing and blood meshing when it comes to, you know, going out east in Europe and stuff like that, because like our relatives grew up in Spain, you know, way back in the day. Like our name, Ontiveros.
Well, on our mom's side of the family,
Spain.
grew up from Spain. Our dads came from Mexico.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Our name originated from Spain, though. Our last name. And so, I mean, there's a town in Spain that was Fontiveros, Ontiveros, and now back to like Vontiveros. And so, like I said, a lot of stuff originates. Deep diving
into that, bro. But I don't know. I think.
Oh, I have done some deep. I spent like 6 hours one time just trying to find my history. Yeah,
nothing
crazy.
but dust.
No, that's why. Like I found a lot. Like I said, I didn't think that a lot of stuff was up back east, and it is. You know, until people.
Did you do your Ancestry.com? I think who? Little Manuel did that?
Nah, that stuff's like. I looked
DNA
into that.
Splicing it and stuff. They're like, yo, bro, it's the government. They want a piece. They're gonna clone you. They're gonna make beef out of you.
No, I don't think it has to do with that. But I just think it's like they're gonna take your swab or whatever, and then they're just gonna give you stats on a paper that necessarily can't be entirely true, or not necessarily entirely what you can
don't they
figure
just
out
match
like
it
what
with other people's DNA though?
Yeah, so like when you get it back, it says like you're 10% European, you're 5% black, you're 2% this.
Well, we
and
can
it's
do
like,
that real easy, and then we can justify if it's good or not.
Yeah, but I want a place where it's like it comes back and it's like your family was originated in this town in 1600, and then they migrated here.
DNA.com.
Well, there's a lot of people that like some of that stuff is in like very well recorded. You know, when people migrated out to like Manhattan, because they had that
the island of the book and stuff.
They had that island, you know, and a lot of people's names changed there. Mm-hmm. Like my mom's mom's dad was adopted, and we don't know his real last name. So like we never know like where she really originated from. Like all we know is that he spoke Spanish and that was it. But like his records end when he got adopted. You know what I mean? Because no one knew where he was there from, you know? So it's just crazy. You can really get into that. Get into that.
Yeah.
But I do want to get this in other notes. I do really want to get this out. There is a rare blue supermoon. Blue supermoon, August 30th.
Couple days.
Brightest ever. It's not going to be blue. I don't know why they call it a big blue moon, but
bigger
supermoon. And what makes it so interesting is that there's like 3 lunar phenomenons that got to happen at the same time for this to be called like a blue supermoon. But cool, check it out. August 30th. I'm going to check it out. Might go live. But you ain't going to be able to see the moon, you know, because my camera's not that good. But you know what I'm saying? DM me. Tell me what you think. Blue moon, red moon, super moon conspiracies?
Coors Light.
Coors Light. Yeah. Man, I didn't. This
Corona.
podcast really
Flies by when you're having fun, dude.
flies by. Oh, and also, well, I guess that's it, man. I guess I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Later.